Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. I think it was my microphone. Okay. Okay, fantastic. It was my microphone. My microphone was just messing up. Yeah, I'm going to check that microphone out. Maybe it's not good for the live video, but I'm glad to be here. All right, so today I'm really going to be talking about the right action to take to create a successful life. And so when I started this series, if you followed me, if you haven't watched the last two replays, I was really just basically talking about the mindset to create a successful life. And then today I'm going to be talking about the right action to take. Now, we all know that most successful people commit to action, and that's how they attain their desire. I always say that consistency trumps boss, so you can have the best ideas or whatever it is, or have the best intentions. If you're not showing up and taking action, you really can't create the life that you desire. And however, today I want to talk about the right action to take because I was saying earlier, I was listening to a podcast, and then the podcast was talking about the fact that we've all heard about the law of attraction. And then it was by Dr. John Assaraf, and he said that there's a law that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's the law of Goya. And I was like, oh, Goya sounds like one Oriental thing, but actually, Goya means on, get off your ass or something, like get off your ass and take action, literally. So I mean, whilst cultivating the right mindset is, important, beyond cultivating the right mindset, we literally have to take action. Now, people that popularize like the hustle culture, hustle hard, hustle hard, hustle hard. And I remember a time in my life, if you watch the last two videos, I shared my story where I was raised to work hard, like literally work hard. And so I took pride in working hard, like late nights, early morning hours, and things like that, thinking literally that was really the key to success. And until it got to a point in my life where working hard wasn't even making me more successful. It was making me more exhausted. It was making me feel angry and bitter because I felt like I was trying so hard and I wasn't getting much results and all that. And that's when I realized that maybe the hustle culture is really not the key to success. And I committed myself to finding another way because I realized that there is still a place for hard work. There's still a place for hard work. But there has to be a better way to do things to get the results we desire. Because ultimately, what we all want is results, right? But results don't always come the way we want it. You know, if we follow only one way. Some people, the hustle culture works for them. I mean, I think that for guys, they even love the adrenaline of the hustle culture, like, go hard, go hard. But for women, I think that it gets to a point where the hustle culture becomes exhausting. But at the same time, we want to create results. We want to create a successful life. We want to create success in our finances. So there has to be a better way. And for me, that's what I wanted to share today. Now, there's a difference between, and for me, what that means, before I talk about the difference, is what I call inspired action. Okay. I feel like the antithesis or the opposite of hustle, to create results is inspired action. And now there's a difference between hustling and inspired action. And the main difference really is your mindset and your motivation. Okay. Now the two of them might have you doing similar things, but what is different is your mindset and your motivation. Let me share a story today. Today, I went to church. But before I went to church, I saw an announcement that there was going to be this quiz in church, a Bible quiz and all that stuff. And they do it every quarter. And honestly, I didn't attend all the classes for the Bible study. Sometimes I go to church late, but I attended a few classes. And so at that moment, okay, if you watch my video of last week, I talked about wordiness. At that moment, I struggled. I said, gosh, I didn't attend all the classes, but am I worthy to do this squeeze and and see if I could get the results? And then I went through a season of reflecting and saying, Tale, are you worthy of it? And I thought about, what, I attended a few classes, number one. And number two, I always find that if I study, so I know the principles of creating results. And number one is preparation, right? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And I said, you know what, if I study, okay, for this quiz, it doesn't take anything from me. I learned more about whatever they've been talking about the last 3 months, even if I didn't attend all the classes. So I just told myself, I'm going to study. But first of all, I asked myself, am I worthy of participating in this Bible study? And I said, yes. Number two, I said, what would it take? I said, I had to study for it. So I decided to study. But the third thing is, I asked myself my motivation. I said, why do you even want to do this? And two things came to my mind. Number one, every time I study for the Bible study, I learned so much about, the Word of God. But secondly, I said, you know what? If I win a prize, I mean, there's one of my team members that I want to give a prize to, give something to tomorrow, and I didn't know what to give the person. But I said, if I study for this Bible study, and perhaps, I'm one of the prize winners and I get a gift, I made up my mind I was going to give it to this person because I want to appreciate the person, So, I mean, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate whatever gift they give me, but I just knew I was going to regift it, just something I had in my mind. So I clarified my motivation. And once I did that, I decided to study for the Bible study. So I brought out the manual, I read it, and to be honest, I was so blessed by reading it. So that's the thing about mindset and motivation. I was so blessed by reading it. Guess what? So I went to this service, and I was shocked. At the end of the Bible study, guess who was on the top of the leaderboard? Yours truly! Let me show you the gift they gave me. Hold on. Okay, so they gave me, this is the gift I got. Anyhow, so now I share the story not because the gift, it's not about the value about the gift. I share the story because of the principle of inspired action. Not even about the gift, the principle of inspired action. And this is where I'm going to be sharing to you today about the right kind of action you take to create a successful life. Now, what's the difference between the hustle culture and inspired action? I have 5 differences I want to share to you today, and then I'm going to use the differences to help you understand the kind of right action you take to create the success you desire in your life. Now, the hustle culture always says, go hard for what you want. Go hard, go hard, go hard. I think the anthem of the hustle culture is go hard, go twice as hard. You're not going hard, you're not going enough. That's the anthem of the hustle culture. But inspired action means that you move by instruction and direction. All right? Move by instruction and direction. Okay? Of course, with speed. But I find out that when you are moving in flow, okay, you move faster. When you are in flow, you feel confident about what you're doing. So you can be hustling hard without knowing where you're going. You can wake up and say, today I'm going to hustle hard. But then there's no sense of direction. But with inspired action, you have a sense of direction. You have a sense of, this is what I want to do, which comes from a sense of direction. Okay? If you're going from where you are to maybe, so let's say, for example, you're driving around a long road and you know your destination, it's easier for you to get there than if you didn't know your destination, you were just wandering up and down. So I feel like the hustle culture almost promotes just get out there and hustle hard. But with inspired action, you have a sense of instruction and direction, which mostly comes through reflection. You really know, okay, this is what I want to do, this is why I want to do it, and this is how I'm going to do it, which is the example I used about the quiz today. It's around what do I want to do, why do I want to do it, and how am I going to make it happen. So that's the first difference. The second difference is that the hustle culture tells you to self-promote, put yourself out, and there's nothing wrong with self-promoting, honestly. I am doing this live video because I'm putting myself out. I'm sharing my knowledge with you because I believe I add value to add to you. However, what is different if you want to go with inspired action is that you will spend time to build a strategy, to share value, okay? And you will lead with value while promoting yourself, okay? So it's not just about putting yourself out there. You will have spent time to clarify, what am I going to put myself out there to do? Okay, what value do I have to create? How can I add value to people? How can I, what will I be presenting? Okay, so inspired action is a more intentional way of acting. You don't just get out and start, promoting yourself. Hey, no. You spend a bit of time. And I tell my team members at work, actually my business development or sales team, I say, just don't go out there and say, I'm selling. Sit down, reflect. Decide, what is it that I want to achieve? Okay? And spend time reflecting and saying, what is the best way to achieve this thing I want to achieve? that will give me the results I want. I tell them that if you spend time doing this reflection, you're going to create more results, better results with less stress than if you spend your time going to hustle or just do activity. So extremely important. The third thing is that hustle culture, encourages you to go and network, get connections. It's almost like a transactional game. Like get out there, network, let people know as many people as possible, collect an ID card, and all that. It has it's a bit of a transactionary way of being and doing, because it's really about like the numbers game. Yes, it's really about the numbers game, but the truth is I've learned that there's a better way. And the better way is to seek to serve and add value to others, and they will naturally connect with you. Seek to serve. So let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was in an, what would I call it now? I was part of a group basically, and in that group we're talking about, it was women in leadership. Let me just say that name of the group was a women in leadership group, and I was supposed to make some contributions on finance because that's what I like to do and that's what I'm good at, right? And we had other team members, but they were not very cooperative. But I had a team leader who needed my help, and I was so willing. I was helping her, I was serving her, I was doing things for her, and then she even had this financial challenge going because she's also a personal finance coach. And she said to me, "Oh, Tyler, please, can you speak on this my challenge?" I'm like, "Oh, why not?" I was just so open to serve. The truth matter is that I was not doing it to get anything from her. I just liked her. I respected her in that moment. And I respected what she was trying to do. And that was my focus. Guess what? Fast forward a few weeks later, I needed something that only she could give. If you see how she bent over backwards to help me, I was surprised. Like she was like, "What you need?" Blah blah blah. She has been so valuable to me as a friend. In fact, even in personal relationship aspect, she's been open to telling me stuff, introducing me to things and things like that. But what was the difference? I didn't go about, I'm going there to network. I went about, how can I serve this person? How can I add value to this person? And because of that, we connected deeply. If I send her a message now, she's going to respond immediately. There was something I needed from her. She said, "You know what, please, Tyler, give me 20 minutes. I'm busy, but I'm going to go somewhere and come back to you and call you and tell you what you want." That connection was not built because I went out to go and network. Even though the women leadership group was a networking group, the connection was built because I went to serve. I went to add value to people. And for me, that is the right type of action. It was Zig Ziglar that said that if you want to succeed, help as many people as you can to succeed. Today I was just reflecting that through social media, there's now so many ways to make money. Okay, for example, with Instagram, people are creating broadcast channels. On YouTube, you can create a membership. There's just so many ways to make money right now. And I realized that Mark Zuckerberg will keep being a billionaire. The Google founders will keep being billionaires. Why? They are creating ways to serve other people so they can also make more money. Okay, and so for me, that's what I like about inspired action. You're not going out, let me go and network and meet people. No. I remember years ago, one of my team members said to me, "Tyler, why don't you go to all these places, go and network, let them know your face?" And I'm like, because I try to do it, but I said to her, it doesn't work with me. I don't do my life that way. I prefer to say, how can I add value to people? How can I serve people? And from that perspective, anybody I need to know, I will get their contact. Because even if I don't know them directly, somebody who I have served, okay, will say, "Please, you need to talk to Tyler." And to me, I have to tell you the truth, that has served me so many times. I always say that there's nobody in this country or in the world that I need to meet. And if it's authentic and genuine, that I can't meet. And why is that? Because I have a posture of, I will serve. I will add value to people, either online or offline, and from that perspective, when I need a connection, people are willing to, connect me to people or refer me to people because I have a posture of serving. So hustle is about, let me go and network and get connections, but inspired action is about seeking ways to serve. So with your business, with your career and everything you're doing to become financially successful, the more people you can serve genuinely, most likely the more that you'll be successful. Like Zig Ziglar said, the fastest way to get successful is help as many people be successful. And I think that should all be our motto. The fourth thing that hustle culture says is that be street smart. Hey, be street smart, get on the street, let people know you and all that stuff. However, inspired action, it's about being wise, being wise, and being wise and yet humble. And why is that important? Because sometimes people say, oh, be street smart, don't let anybody cheat you. But you know that sometimes in inspired action, it's okay to let people get away with stuff. People think, oh, you're a fool, but no, you know that you're playing the long game. You know that, okay, I'm going into this business transaction with somebody, or I have this colleague at work, or whatever it is, they offend you or they cheat you. Because you're wise, okay, and you're able to see into the future, you will know that these are things that you will not, you shouldn't take action at this time. You should wait and take action later. And that will serve you so much, okay? I mean, the hustle culture makes you feel, don't let anybody cheat you. But sometimes, people are cheating you, you will let them cheat you because it's okay. All right? It's okay not because you're foolish. It's okay because you're wise, because you know that in times to come, that will be to your benefits. That will be to your benefit. And that's why I like the inspired action model. And that's the model I've adopted in my life. I threw away that my hustle culture garment and I put on my inspired action garment. And I realized that I have a more peaceful life. Okay? Peaceful life that is creating the results that I want. Now, people might say, oh, but it's slow. Hustle culture, get results fast. But the truth is, you now want to ask yourself, is it about fast results or is it about sustainable results that come with peace? You need to choose. Okay, you need to choose. Is it about fast results or is it about sustainable results that come with peace? Is it about fast results that you make a lot of enemies, you trample upon people? Or is it about sustainable results that you add value to people's lives and you have a lot of people that are blessing you because you are genuinely adding value to their lives? Okay, you need to choose. Okay, then the fifth thing I know about the hustle culture, the hustle culture says, keep going, don't let failure stop you. Hey, failure, should not stop you. Now, as much as I'm a big believer in resilience, in fact, if you ask me what is one of my strongest core values, I'll tell you resilience. Because I've taken so many falls. I've taken so many, I cannot tell you the amount of falls I've taken in this life, but I keep getting back up again. However, what I'm learning is that failure, it's not about not letting failure stop. It's about listening to failure as your teacher. Okay? When you're taking action, sometimes you fail. When you're taking action and you even feel like, oh, this is the right thing to do, I've done the right strategy, sometimes you fail. As somebody who runs a company, and I've run businesses, multiple businesses, I have encountered failure. I mean, the truth is that they say successful people are people that fail their way forward. I've encountered a lot of failure. But what I've learned is to make failure my teacher. So as you're taking your inspired action, as you're going by direction and instruction, make failure your teacher. Okay? And so what does that mean? It means that when you fail, you pause. Okay? When you fail, you pause. Okay? Shema, I see you. When you fail, you pause. And what does that mean? You pause and you reflect. Okay, this didn't go well. Okay? What went wrong? So the other day, two Mondays ago, I had a session with my COO at the office. And we did a platform. We spent a lot of time and money, and the thing failed. To be honest, it failed. And so I said to him, let's sit down, let's do an autopsy. Why did we fail? So that's how you reflect. It's not a bad thing, We thought we were doing the right thing, okay? But we failed. But we sat and said, so why did we fail? And we paused and we thought about it. What did we do? And we looked at the data. And we found that we actually failed because we ignored some points. We acted on a data without digging deep on what the data actually means. And so we were able to reflect and learn the lessons. And so that's it. So it's not about, oh, don't let failure hold you back. Sometimes failure is a call to pivot. Okay? Failure is a call to pivot. It's a call to look at another way. It's a call to do it in another way. It's a call to move ahead and get wisdom. Okay? So, and that's the power of inspired action. It's not about just keep going, never give up. You know how the motivational speakers tell us, don't give up. Yes, don't give up on your vision, but the path you're taking to your vision, you might need to change. And that's okay. And that's the difference between the hustle culture and inspired action. Don't give up on your vision, but the path you're taking to your vision, you might need to change. And it's okay. And that's the power of inspired action. Inspired action has a level of humility that hustle culture does not have. Because there's something about hustle culture that makes you feel like I'm self-made. I made it happen for myself. Yeah, I gave myself a chance. But the thing about inspired action, it gives you a sense of humility when you know the truth. I don't make it happen for myself. I need guidance. I need instructions. I need coaches. I need mentors. I need people to talk to. I need people to direct me. I need to read books. I need to take courses. That's what inspired action does for you. Inspired action has you seeking direction first before you move. All right. So, one of my past videos, I shared that this year alone, I've invested in at least 5 courses. I'm still taking courses. Why? Because one of the things about choosing the way of inspired action is that you are humble enough to know what you don't know. Of course, you're confident enough in what you know. I know what I know. But I'm humble enough to know I don't know these things. I need help. I need guidance. I need a coach. I need a mentor. Okay? I'm going to seek those people. And guess what? When you move like that in life, you reduce your learning curve and you reduce your failure rates. So it's not everything that we have to figure out by ourselves, to be honest. I know it's good for your ego. Yeah, I figured it out myself, No, it's not everything you've got to figure out yourself. Some things, other people have figured it out. Can you find somebody who has figured out the thing that you want to do, and can you learn from them? Can you buy their books? Like, for example, you want to start a business. I have a book called Up Level. Okay? I'm sure I'm going to put the link somewhere there. If it's not already there, it's probably there. I have a book called Up Level. Read that book. You need guidance in building your business or building your financial blueprints. I offer coaching sessions. Book a session. Get help. Do you understand? Don't have that feeling of I'll figure it out all by myself. No. If you have that attitude of I'll figure it out all by myself, you're going to spend a long time. You feel okay if I hustle and work hard enough. No, you don't need to work. Everything's not, everything's not about the hustle. Sometimes you calm down. I was listening to a guy called Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and was saying something about the fact that what will take us from where we are to where we need to be is the who, not the how. And he has a book called Who Not How. All right. And the concept of who not how is that the bridge between where we are and where we want to be is a person or a system or something. So it's a who that we need and not a how. And so in taking inspired action, we need to find who are the who's we need in our lives. Okay, who are the who's that will get us from where we are to where we want to be? Think about it. Think about world-class tennis players. Think about world-class athletes. They always have a coach. They always have a coach. Why? Because they recognize that to become better, they need guidance. They need mentors. They need people to tell them this is what you need to do. They invest in it. And one of the things that I've learned is if you're not willing to invest in where you want to go, you want to ask yourself one honest question. Do you really think you're worth it? Do you really, really think you're worth it? I think that's a humble question we should always ask ourselves. If I'm not willing to invest in where I want to go, do I really think I'm worth it? Or do I really believe I can get it? Now, it's a very sobering question, but it's a question that we need to ask ourselves. Okay? And that's a reflection that I do several times. I ask myself, I say, you know what, Tale? Why are you dragging your feet on that? Remember the question I shared with you about winning the Bible quiz in church? The first thing I asked myself when I was feeling a bit, I wasn't like a fraudster, but I don't know if I was deserving because I didn't attend all the classes, was, do I think I'm worth it? Do I think I'm worth it? Okay? And what is the story I am telling myself in my mind that makes me feel that I might not be worth it enough to invest in myself, to take the action to create the success I deserve? So in this final video in the series, What basically the concept I'm introducing to you on how to attain the success you desire in your life is inspired action. And so to recap, what does inspired action mean? It's action that is taken through instruction and direction. Where does instruction and direction come from? It might come from reflection, it might come from meditation, it might come from reading books, listening. Do you know the amount of ideas I've gotten by reading a book, listening to a podcast, talking to a mentor that has transformed my life? Okay? Because I have learned that, to be honest, I don't know everything. And that's okay. You know, a few months ago, I was in Kigali for something like a TED talk, right? And one of the talks that was very inspiring was funny enough, was from one of my former lecturers. Sorry, it was I don't know and it's okay. And I thought, brilliant, very brilliant. Why? Because I feel like we all feel bad that there are some things that we don't know. But the truth is, it's okay. It's okay to say these things I do not know and these things I know. It's okay. It's okay. And when you seek with humility, so one of the greatest ingredients of inspired action is humility. To learn what you do not know, you are more equipped and you are more informed to move with flow. Now, one of the key drivers of inspired action is flow. And flow is a state where you feel clear, you feel confidence to move without any obstacles. A lot of people struggle to enter flow. And they struggle to enter flow because they don't have clarity. They don't have motivation. They don't really have faith in themselves. They don't really know what to do. So let me share a story. A month ago, I was working on I'm doing my doctorate degree, and I was working on a project. And as I was working on this project, my so I was with my sister, and I've been finding it difficult to articulate myself. I sent it to my supervisor, sent it back. I said I should do some corrections and everything. I've been finding it difficult to articulate myself. So I was just talking it through with my sister and saying, this is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing it. I was talking to her. I was getting clarity. I was hearing myself. My friend Ishoma is here. We always say that when we record voice notes to each other, we hear ourselves. I was getting clarity, and immediately I got that clarity. I got the confidence to move. And I said to her that I know what to do. Let me go and write. And I went, and in under an hour, I rewrote my research proposal, and I was done. And my sister was like, "Are you done?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done." And she's like, "How did you do it?" I said, "I was in flow. I got into flow." Once I got into flow and I had the confidence and I had the clarity, I moved with speed. And that's the power of inspired action. So I wasn't moving with, let me just go and try. No, I was moving with confidence that yes, now I know what to do. I'm going to go and do it, and I'm going to create the results I want. And honestly, I think that is the best way to live. The best way to live is to live a life where you can take inspired action and create the results that you desire in your life. Okay? Enough of the hustle. Yeah, I know that hustle is cool. Like, yeah, what are you doing? I'm hustling, though. We are hustling. Let's hustle. No, 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 no. I mean, it's a nice cliche, but life, I think that, when they say come up higher, there's a better way to live life, okay? Beyond the hustle. I feel like hustle is like entry level. Inspired action is like, yes, master's level now. That's how the masters live. Now, inspired action takes more mind and brain work than physical work. And that's why it's hard. It's hard because we really just use maybe like 5% of our brain on a normal day. Hustle is like you just get up, you want to go. But inspired action means that you are engaging your brain, you're engaging your mind. And the truth is that a lot of people are not trained to do it. Our educational system hasn't trained us to use our brain and to use our minds. It's easier to use your physical body to go and walk and all that. And I tell my team leaders, I say, the reason why you're a team leader and what differentiates you from your normal team members is that you should have a certain level of brain capacity to be able to make strategic decisions to direct your team. You should be able to spend more time thinking, coming up with solutions, and then sharing it with your team. And that's what inspired action does. Inspired action requires that you will calm down first. You will spend time thinking about what you want to do. You will spend time clarifying your motivation. You will spend time understanding your why. You will spend time researching. You will spend time consulting experts. All right? You will spend time reading, reflecting, doing the work, the hard work, before you actually then take action. I mean, I remember one quote that says that, I think it was a guy that said, if I needed to repair something in 1 hour, I would spend the first 55 minutes thinking about what I want to do and the remaining 5 minutes doing it, or something like that. Or is it, or I don't know whether the story about this guy that it took him 5 minutes to fix something, and they were like, "Why are we paying you so much?" He says, "Because the first 35 minutes or whatever the time is, I spent thinking about the solution. And then I could do it in 5 minutes because I spent time engaging my brain." And so that is inspired action. Inspired action means you're engaging first with your brain, engaging first with your mind, clarifying what you want to do. And by the way, let me also balance this and say inspired action is not paralysis, analysis paralysis. Because some people would never move because they are afraid of failing. No. Inspired action is having the humility to know you might fail, and that's okay. But you also have the tools to know what you want you to do. And I was saying to my CEO the other day when we were doing that autopsy of the product that we had that failed, I was saying to him that there's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself, but also humble enough to know that you might not know it all, and that's okay too, but that you're equipped with the tools to go and get what you need to know. So I'm not saying analysis paralysis, no. I'm saying once you get a bit of clarity, you might not know everything, you start taking action. That's what I mean, inspired action. And as you take action, you're humble enough to evaluate what is working, what is not working, what can I do better, how can I do it better, okay? And you're taking feedback, you're collecting data. What do people like? What do people not like? Okay, and so for example, and I'm running up now because I try not to make these videos too long. For example, with this YouTube channel, I'm coming live now. This is new for me. I've been in YouTube for a few years, but I've never done live videos consistently. But I said every Sunday at 6 p.m. I'll come on live. Oh my God. Sorry if you hear that noise. Sorry about that. You know, I said I'm going to come on live every Sunday at 6 p.m. At the same time, I'm evaluating what is working. Okay? I've been very intentional about growing my YouTube channel since July. This is September, just 3 months. And in 3 months, I think as at today, we're at over 1,300 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I really appreciate you. But it's been really intentional. It didn't just happen. It happened with taking action. I'm looking at the data. I'm seeing what's working. I'm adjusting. I'm tweaking. I'm making it better. That's the power of inspired action. Inspired action comes with a certain level of humility. You're collecting the data. You're studying, continuous improvement, and you're acting not out of hustle or impatience. You're acting, you're being guided, you're being directed. By the way, I'm reading books on YouTube. I'm listening to mentors. You know, I'm constantly improving myself. That's the power of inspired action. Inspired action is focused and directed action. And that's what will create the results you want to create a successful life. Okay? I do hope that this added value. I want you to reflect on what I shared. If possible, watch this video again and then tell me in the comments below what inspired action are you going to take, okay, based on what you've learned today. How are you going to make changes to your life, okay, to begin to take more inspired action? How are you going to overcome your fears, those fears of things that are stopping you? Inspired action is not perfect action. No, inspired action is courageous, directed action. All right? Say after me. Courageous, directed action. That is humble enough to take feedback, course correct, and keep going. Because, like I always say, okay, consistency trumps balls. Showing up is more important than being perfect. And especially when you show up as inspired and you take inspired action, success is guaranteed for you. So that is my broadcast today. I hope it added value to you. Let me know in the comments below. And if added value to you, please share this with your friends. Please like this broadcast so that more people will see it. Share with your friends who have been struggling to know what to do, take action. You know, tell me in the comments what value added to you. And Next week, I'm going to start a series on businesses. For all of you who are thinking, I want to create multiple streams of income, I want to build my business, and I want to take my business to the next level. I'm going to start a series of business. So tune in, same time again next week. Thank you for all those that joined me live. Tune in again next week for more amazing content that will ignite you and help you create the successful life and finances that you desire. Thank you so much for joining me. Share this video, and I will see you again next time. Okay. Thank you. So it is time for me to stop this video. Usually when I want to stop it, it's always very interesting. Okay.